Hello and welcome to a playtest battle report for Golem28. This is a game that I'm working on, and here on the board we have two simulacras. In this corner we have the Devout of Serprend, and in this corner we have the followers of Ishrenred. The bout is from whence they came, where the two simulacras must destroy each other. The followers win initiative, and the animator uses one action point to command the golem to dash forward. A spearman uses one action point to move forward. The animator for the followers uses one action point to move forward. The animator for the devout uses one action point to move forward. Rimp, a follower, scurries closer towards his animator. A second spearman for the devout dashes forward using one action point. The animator for the followers uses one action point to issue a dash command. The animator for the devout uses one action point to issue a dash command. The animator for the followers uses one action point to dash up, hiding behind a tree. Activations go back and forth between the followers on each side, moving to better positions. The animator for Ishrenred issues a double command, commanding Ishrenred to dash then bash the piece of obstacle. The animator for Serprend issues a double command to dash then bash, but it appears that the bash action was forgotten. Concluding round 1, we go into round 2, and 1 through 3, that gives the initiative to the followers of Ishrenred. The animator issues a double command to Ishrenred to dash then flash. An unopposed magical check is made, and Ishrenred makes it with DC 10+. This is followed by an opposed mind roll between Ishrenred and Serprend. Rolling 1d2 points of damage, the result is a 1. Serprend takes 1 wound. The animator for the devout issues 2 commands, a bash and dash to Serprend. Bash taking out the piece of obstacle terrain, and dash to get out of range from the attacking golem. The animator for Ishrenred uses one action to move over its nimbleness 6 inches. One of the followers for Serprend uses an action to dash forward. The animator for Ishrenred makes a command range check to issue a command, but it fails, coming up just shy of the command range. The followers on each side alternate back and forth, moving into optimal positions. The Ishrenred animator successfully commands Ishrenred to dash then flash. Ishrenred dashes forward, makes a check for flash, succeeds, and makes an opposed mind roll, but it fails. The follower for Serprend moves forward, and the follower for Ishrenred moves in between the follower and the animator, protecting its master. The animator for Serprend moves forward, then issues a command, making a successful command range check, commanding Serprend to dash forward. And that is the conclusion of round 2. Round 3 initiative goes to the Devout of Serprend. The spearman makes a physical attack against the defending follower. A clout versus ward roll. It's 1 point of damage. The animator for Ishrenred makes a desperate double command to Ishrenred. However, the command range fails, consuming 2 actions. The animator for Surprend uses this as an opportunity to issue a double command, a dash then bash, against the follower. It is an opposed clout roll versus the defending ward roll. The result is 2 points of damage, and the follower is taken out of action. Desperate, the animator for Ishran runs to his golem. The animator for Surprend issues a dash command, commanding it to move forward. The animator for Ishran attempts a double command, dash then flash, successfully making a command range check. Ishran dashes forward, then makes a successful mind check for flash. The opposed mind rolls end up with 1d2 point of damage, which ultimately end up with 1 wound to the spearman. The animator for Surprend moves forward. The Ishran animator runs to cover behind his golem. The spearman with the Slayer trait gets +1 dice to clout and ward versus golems, and successfully damages Ishran. The other spearman of Surprend runs forward, charging at the animator. With his remaining activation, he chooses to strike at the animator, dealing 1 point of damage. And that concludes round 3. Round 4, and initiative goes to the Devout of Surprend. The spearman decides to take opportunity to attack the animator. However, the animator commands its golem to intercept the spearman. For 2 actions, it turns around and flashes to interrupt the action of the spearman, successfully making the unopposed mind check and dealing 1 point of damage to the spearman. The animator commands Ishran to dash forward, getting out of range of the other golem, and flash the spearman, making the unopposed mind check for flash. However, no damage has occurred to the spearman. The animator for Surprend issues a double command, dash then bash, against the tree. The tree, being a small piece of terrain, has an opposed ward roll of 2. However, it's not enough and the tree goes down. As the terrain is destroyed, destruction damage is applied to all units within 1 inch of the terrain, for a small piece of terrain that's 1 point of damage to both Surprend and the spearman. The animator issues a command to Ishran to flash the spearman 1 more time. The unopposed mind check is successful, and it results in 1d2 points of damage, leaving the spearman with 1 wound left. Surprend charges forward with a dash and bash, taking down Ishran. Resolving the fall of the golem, Ishran topples the spearman, completely obliterating him. In fear of his life, the animator for Ishran flees the board. And victory goes to the Devout of Surprend. So if you made it to this point in the video, I want to say thank you. I hope you liked it. If this is a game you want to play test or try out, let me know, and I can send you the references to the rules. So in my notes, I have in here some of the things that come up during these play tests. One, so there is a mechanic to do the ritual every turn. I thought that kind of slowed the pace of the game. We don't need to do that. 2, another thing I need to work through is moving through friendly units. I noticed that the Urn of Surprend moved through his his animator and through a follower. I need to think about how that needs to be resolved. Another thing I need to experiment with too is having two activations per unit. One just feels pretty slow. A trait idea that came up during play is to have it where either followers or animators or golems can actually block a certain amount of damage when terrain explodes. And I need to work on the intercept rules.